Hello everyone, and welcome to this tarot reading all about your event of this season, and also an added bonus of what Lady Whistledown has to say about where you are at the moment in life, aka what do people see, what do the people around you think, and what kind of advice can we take. For pile number 1 we have the clear quartz, pile number 2 we have the yellow calcite, pile number 3 we have the amethyst. Decide which pile it is you feel drawn to, and I'll have timestamps down in the description so that you can jump ahead to your reading. If you need a little bit more time to decide which pile you'd like to choose, I am gonna let you do that right now. Hello, pile number 1. If you chose the clear quartz, then this is going to be your reading. First we have the forest floor reincarnation. Sunflower, face the light. Unfurl, have you met all of yourself? Reincarnation, the forest floor is all about, you know, when the leaves have fallen off the tree and they lay on the forest floor, ready to kind of return to the earth. This is what this card is all about. So there's something in your life that is ending, but we then have face the light, unfurl. So it's kind of like, you know, like the seasons, how in the autumn all the leaves fall to the ground, then there's a winter period, and then there's spring, and the sun comes back out. Not that the sun disappears through the winter, but the spring comes around, the sun comes out, the flowers face the light, and we unfurl. So what I want to do is actually read the little messages that come with each card because they are beautifully written. Number 20, reincarnation. The forest floor will tell you that death is life, for what dies in the forest decomposes and becomes fuel for all living things. In a metaphorical sense, we go through many deaths in our lifetime on earth, deaths of identities and versions of ourselves. Have you ever seen an old photo of yourself and thought, I am not this person? Heartbreak is a death. Moving houses and countries is a death. Changing careers or life paths is a death of the future that would have been. Even an exhale is a death. We inhale and exhale, dancing through life and death. What part of you needs to die this time? Let it die, and then rise from the ashes. Like a phoenix, use your decay as a fertilizer for your sprouts. So there's a massive change that you will be going through. Kind of gave some examples there, like a change of career, change in living circumstances, change in countries, and you're shedding a version of who you were / are and becoming a new version of yourself. So you need to let that person die. Sunflower, face the light. Unfurl your petals. Okay, she started with the word unfurl, and then we literally have unfurl. So that could be a theme word for you. Furl your petals and smile at the sun. You might be in a difficult phase right now, but there is light to be found even in the darkest of times. This light will never go out, no matter what. Find your light and allow it to shine upon you. Feel the rays piercing through your skin right into your heart center. Fill yourself with light. This card is also a sign to celebrate yourself. Accept the love, the compliments, and the praise you deserve. Someone who is used to giving, it can be difficult to receive. Understand that what goes around comes around, and you are receiving this love because you are love. You might be going through something difficult right now, but it also had unfurl in it, so it's very aligned that it came out in the centre for you. Once we are at the forest floor, shedding that old self, as difficult as it can be to let go of that version of yourself, it's time to look at the light and grow towards that new opportunity, that new version of yourself, the new and improved beam of light, that ray of sunshine, and you will bloom and unfurl. Have you met all of yourself? Let's look into unfurl. Have you met all of yourself? Like unfolding fronds of a sleepy fern, unfurl the potential. There is magic lurking in the depths of you that can change the world. Have you met it yet? Have you fully met yourself yet? All of you. Step into your full self, your full realised power. This card reminds you to go outside your comfort zone in the name of growth. Unfurling can be terrifying, for you are allowing others to see the deepest most vulnerable parts of you. But those parts are also the most powerful. This is where real magic happens, in the unfurling. I think you are on a path of self-discovery. Whatever's happening here, an old version of you returns to the forest floor. You are growing and unfurling into something new that also brings out a whole new level of you, a whole new level of yourself. The Knight of Swords is all about speed and action. Swords is the suit of communication, ideas, and the Knight is all about the pursuit. An idea is coming to you, or a sudden jolt, a sudden realization. It's like when an idea rushes over you and then it happens with speed. Because it came out over the reincarnation card, transitioning very quickly. So for example, when we decided to move to Australia from New Zealand, it was the matter of like, we decided it, and the next week we were looking for jobs, we got jobs, and then all of a sudden it was very real and we had to move, and it was at lightning speed. That was a big death because we moved countries, we've become completely different people. So whatever this is for you is happening with speed. The Four of Cups is a card all about kind of being bored and over the stage of life you're in. So whatever this is you're shedding, you're so bored of, which is why you've kind of taken on your idea with speed. So I'm feeling like you are leaving something behind that bores you. Fabulous, go you. The Ace of Cups. I love the Ace of Cups. Look at the imagery of that, that's beautiful. The Ace of Cups embodies self-love. It embodies filling your own cup, overflowing and having so much love to give because your cup is full. I feel when I look at the Ace of Cups, the energy of feeling so refreshed, feeling so able to give, feeling so clear-headed, feeling so emotionally clear, just feeling really crystal in every aspect of your life, because we experience life through our emotions, and the cups is all about the emotions. So when you're feeling ace in your emotions, everything else kind of starts to feel ace. The Eight of Swords is all about self-doubt, feeling like you're not able to move forward. Though if you look at the imagery in this card, her feet are not bound. There are swords there that she could use to free herself, or she could just kind of walk away. The idea of this card is that even when we feel stuck or not able to do something, doesn't mean we actually are. So it is a mind thing, and I'm not trying to diminish any feelings or thoughts that you are going through. It might feel difficult, and the whole shedding of like a big part of ourselves and a big transition is always a bit uncomfortable feeling, and then the self-doubt crawls in, and that is completely natural. You will get there, group number one. This is not going to be a big deal. It's not going to be consuming. It's just going to be one of those like background thoughts for you that like, okay, this comes up every now and then, but I'm feeling for you, group number one, that you are going to feel this kind of cleansed, refreshed energy, and you're going to be really happy about it. Like if you look at this picture in the unfurl card, I feel very cleansed. You know when you go outside in the morning and there's fresh air and there's like dew on the garden around you, and everything just feels really pretty and like you feel part of nature. I feel like that's the feeling you're going to have, if you know what I mean by that. Those cards wanted to come out really quickly. So we have luck, the lime, and we have longevity, the chrysanthemum. I just say luck is a pretty cool card to get. I want to say you're going to feel like you have luck on your side. So whatever this opportunity or idea that is arising for you feels lucky to you. You're like, wow, I'm so lucky that this happened for me. I can finally get out of this. And it's going to really feel like your cup is full because of it. Don't let the self-doubt creep in. When we believe we are lucky, the universe is like, yeah, you are lucky, and then keeps granting you things. So it is a fantastic mind frame to be in. And longevity, the chrysanthemum, whatever this is, whatever this change is that you are adapting to is for the long haul, or it's going to lead to something that is for the long haul, the longevity. So these are really cool because they give you like spells that you can use and like the magical properties of the lime. Oracle meaning, you may find you are right in the middle of a situation at present, or that something is stuck in circles, and this could be caused by overreactions or too much interference. It's time to let things progress at their own pace. Limes bring luck with them, so take a chance and be ready for the ups and downs this energy brings. But know that time is on your side. Don't overplan and be open to letting complexities unravel on their own. It said something about being in the middle of a situation and feeling stuck in circles that could be caused by overreactions or too much interference. So there is something like, this is quite circular, the forest floor card. And we've got the boredom card right there, or feeling like, if you look at the imagery of this, she's feeling almost annoyed and over it and bored, but like someone's offering her a cup. And I think usually it's with this, it's like missing opportunities that are being handed to you. But I'm feeling the vibe just from that message with the lime, that you feel like maybe someone's interfering and that's annoying the ish out of you. Maybe you're making decisions at a speed, almost with impulsiveness, to get away from whatever or whoever's interfering. Chrysanthemum, oracle meaning, a phase in which trust, completion, a sense of belonging and peace has been reached is signified by the appearance of chrysanthemums. Deeper intimacy in relationships is highlighted, and you may want to explore this area of your life. A cycle of learning is coming to an end, or you now have all facts you require. Creative blocks, melancholy, and weak boundaries are challenges. Yes, I feel like this is melancholy, like that depressive kind of feeling, and the weak boundaries. You've learnt and overcome what you need to. We have Temperance. We have Queen of Wands. Sunflowers again. We've got sunflowers there. Lovely. And there too. Maybe you need to surround yourself in sunflowers. So Temperance is all about balance. See how she's like tipping the water from cup to cup. She's got 1 foot on the land and 1 foot in the water. So it's about nurturing all aspects of your life. And I feel like you are going to get to this place of feeling balanced. This change you are creating is going to bring you to that place of feeling more aligned. Queen of Wands is all about feeling in such a strong position energetically with your desires, with your plans for life, with your purpose. The Queen of Wands. Confidence, good fortune and encouragement. Surrounded by sunflowers that represent confidence, the Queen of Wands is a born leader. Relaxed and authoritative, she glows with assurance. Her happiness is infectious. She laughs warmly and brings lightness into any situation. An active and an outgoing person, she engages fully with whatever she is doing. The little black cat symbolises her mastery of her dark side. This card encourages you to be bold in your endeavours. Picture the Queen of Wands as a friend who sees your potential and says, all will be well. That's why I like to read these. Sometimes they just bring out a little message. You're group number 1. You are in the season of releasing a part of yourself, facing the light, becoming that sunflower and unfurling, meeting new parts of yourself and becoming so confident, feeling balanced, feeling replenished, revitalized, energetic. Yes, you'll have days of self-doubt. Overall, you feel the luck is on your side. Your event of the season, group number 1, is becoming that confident, shining sunflower through this almost impulsive change. That replenished, revitalized, confident, shining sunflower. I am going to pull some cards. I'm going to put these away. What people in your life see from you. What does Lady Whistledown have to say? I'm going for the whole Bridgerton-esque vibes because Bridgerton comes out soon. So we have be proud of yourself. Take inspired action. Not to change. wow. You know, when you come across people, the type of thing they're going to be thinking is, oh, they've got a lot to be proud of. They take inspired action and they're so open to change. And this is so aligned with the reading we've just done for you. Being so open to change because you are going through that almost impulsive change, that rebirthing of yourself. You're taking action, taking inspired action, and it's very quick. And a lot of people are very afraid to do these kind of things. So you've got a lot to be proud of. And I feel like a lot of people look up to you. I've got a book here, the Be Mindful book. I'm just going to turn to a page and see what message wants to come out for you. Being with the good. Wow. Okay, these look like sunflowers. I think they are sunflowers. Group number 1, you are being called to plant sunflowers in your garden. Surround yourself with sunflowers, the sun. See what message has come through for you. Our evolutionary survival mechanism is primed to remember bad experiences, so they serve as warnings for the future, whereas pleasant experiences serve no such purpose and thus are discarded. Many of us also indulge in black and white thinking. I've had a terrible day, we say, tarring the whole day with negativity, when the reality is that each day is made up of a multitude of experiences, positive, negative, and neutral. If we can start to pay attention and notice particularly when we have a positive experience and hold that experience in our being for 2 or 3 seconds, our memory will then bank it rather than let it slide into oblivion. An additional benefit is that noticing a positive experience as it happens makes our life feel richer. Try this. Make an intention to notice any pleasant experiences you have today. These are going to be mainly small things, such as noticing the clean, sharp smell of air when you leave a stuffy room. It's like I was saying in your reading of like just the dewy feeling like in the morning of like that fresh air, like that revitalizing, replenishing air. And it's interesting that that's come up. Such as noticing the clean, sharp smell of air when you leave a stuffy room, hearing a child laugh or a favourite song, seeing a pleasing arrangement of colours, and so on. It will be different for each one of us. When you become aware of a pleasant experience, first notice what it feels like in the body. Does it feel tight, contracted, loose, or open? If you were asked to describe it, what words or pictures would you use? What thoughts do you notice? What emotions are present? Remember, we are not trying to create positive experiences. We are simply paying attention to any pleasant experience that regularly occur, but that we usually ignore or quickly forget. Group number 1, I feel like people look at you and they think, wow, she's got a lot to be proud of. And that was a message of like, maybe people think like, oh, they don't really notice how much they've achieved. They don't celebrate their wins. They're not taking notice in all the things that are so wonderful for them. And this could come back to that 4 of Cups that you had, like kind of like not seeing what's being handed to you. Wow, like you've got so much to be proud of. And this is so common that like we achieve things and we're like, okay, what's next? And we really kind of forget to celebrate our wins, celebrate the small things, or focus on what went wrong, like what that book was saying. We do it as a survival mechanism. Group number 1, I feel like your message is to embrace the positive, have those sunflower moments, have sunflowers in your garden. And that is what people think of you. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, subscribe, it helps so much. I really enjoy doing this, so I am going to continue making as many videos as I can, and I really hope you'll be here for the next one. Let me know in the comments what you thought, how it relates, what you can take away. Have a lovely day. Bye. Hello, group number 2. If you chose the yellow calcite, then this is going to be your reading about your event of the season. What we've got, we have gratitude. There is so much to be grateful for. We have roots, focus on your foundation. And we have autumn, slow down and reflect. Gratitude, roots, and autumn. Look how gorgeous these cards are. First of all, I want to start by saying I have just purchased this new deck from Dreamy Moons. It's called Bloom, and it is gorgeous. I love the gold detailing in it, and I love all the little messages. They are quite deep messages, which I absolutely love. I love a good oracle deck. A good way to incorporate gratitude in your life, if you don't like making lists and really like being intentional about it, it's not for everyone, is to feel gratitude in all the little moments where you feel joy through the day. Because it is very easy to kind of just not kind of recognize or celebrate those moments. And what I would like to do is read the little insert in the book, because the messages in here are beautiful, and I feel like they just add a lovely layer to the reading. There's so much to be grateful for. Life is full of beauty, and a powerful way of attracting even more beauty into your life is to be in the high vibration of gratitude. Remind yourself of all that makes you smile, and actively express your appreciation for it. Scream, "I love you," out of the car window. Hug your loved ones extra tightly. Slide a love letter in a stranger's letterbox. Dance in joy. Write a list of all that made you smile today. Ask yourself, what am I grateful for right now? What do I love the most about my life, and who am I grateful for? So it is just kind of adding that layer of rose-coloured glasses to your life and being really aware to enjoy each moment, because that makes up our lives. I'm getting a really fun, playful energy from that card and that little reading. Focus on foundation, roots. The roots is all about your foundation. Your foundation is where you live, your family, your career, how you make your income, how you survive, your foundation to your life. Focus on foundation. Strengthen your roots. Your roots are your foundation, and foundation is everything. It is the things in your life that make you feel stable and strong, a safe and comfortable living situation, a consistent financial flow, a solid routine that makes you feel good, a supportive community. When you have a strong foundation, you can build upon it, spread your branches, and fearlessly flourish. If you are feeling ungrounded or unbalanced in this season of life, ask yourself, what are my roots? How can I strengthen them? How can I plunge them deeper into the earth? Your event of this season is creating those strong roots, whether that's a routine for your week or your morning or your evening, or adapting things into your life, into your daily life that is going to build a strong foundation and rapport with yourself. And then we have slow down, reflect. Autumn. Autumn. Slow down and reflect. Autumn reminds us to embrace transformation and even death. Leaves turn red and gold, take off to dance with the wind, and eventually wilt on the ground, becoming one with the earth yet again. As the world cools down and trees soften into their slumber until springtime, we are craving warmth and comfort. In this time of transition, it's important to remember all that grounds us in the present. Ask yourself, what chapter of life do I need to let go of this season for the greater good? Where can I find comfort in this transitional period? So there is something you are transitioning or shedding. When you think of autumn, like it just said, it is the dropping of leaves, the letting go, the kind of ending of a chapter in a way, the ending of a season. Slowing down and reflecting, I almost feel like is talking about rest as well. The autumn is a very inwards season. Like it said, how can we make the transition more comfortable? I think of like cozy autumnal vibes. Maybe you are turning inwards, reflecting, enjoying and being grateful for those cozy autumn days, and having the space to think about what it is you want your foundation to be and starting to build upon that. Okay, we've got multiple cards that want to come out, which is fantastic. So we have the Hierophant that came flying out. We have the Three of Swords, the Fool, and the King of Swords. The Hierophant is all about teaching, sharing, learning, going through things in our life that kind of up-level us spiritually. It's becoming more wise. Also can signify starting new studies or anything along the lines of this. The Three of Swords, I want to read from the book because, to be honest, I don't see this card a lot, and I feel like the book can sometimes bring out some really nice messages. So this is the book I use sometimes just to kind of get some deeper understanding on the cards. Three of Swords, heartache, sorrow, or betrayal. Clouds gather and rain falls behind a love heart, pierced by 3 swords. Of all the cards, this one cuts deeply into a tender place and can be painful to look at. The heartache of the 3 swords may be rooted in a family upset or loss, a falling out with a friend, or having unrequited feelings for someone. There is a feeling of betrayal. Better things were expected than this. In a reading, this card says that it is time to confront painful thoughts, examine them calmly, and remember that one day they will be ancient history. Whatever this heartbreaking situation is for you, know that it's not forever, and that by feeling and going through these feelings head on is a good thing. Feel them. Be in those feelings, because if we don't let them pass through, we can't heal. I'm hearing could be something that is of the past, because we have the Hierophant, which is kind of learning from something. Once we're over something, that's when we have that perspective to look back and be like, wow, I learnt this from this situation. For some of you, this will be something that maybe still lingers a little bit, because when we go through heartache, it takes time to get through it. Be kind to yourself. Indulge in that self-care in those cozy autumn days. Focus on rebuilding your foundation and think about what it is you have to be grateful for. There's a lot, even when we feel like there's not. Prioritize doing those things that bring you joy, even when you don't feel like doing it. The Fool is all about new beginnings. It's about diving headfirst off a cliff and trusting that you're going to land on your feet and be happy. It's a very good card. I love, love, love the Fool. It can also be about moving, because you can see she's setting off from the big smoke. It's also about minimalism, so maybe you're clearing out and letting go of things, which we saw with the autumnal card. With building new foundations, this makes sense. It also makes sense that you are moving on, moving away from that heartache, which is amazing. And the King of Swords. I love the butterflies on the King of Swords. The King of Swords is all about intellect, learning, and action. The King of Swords has an airy quality about him. Just like the Queen, butterflies decorate his throne, and birds fly alongside him. He has a cool head and takes pleasure in learning and logic. There's another message about learning, so maybe you are delving into some sort of new learning. Either you are starting new studies, or you have learned something quite profound that you're like, wow, like you've had a aha moment, like, wow, I've learned from this and now I feel ready to move on. His face and stance reflects his readiness to confront things. He is skilled at winning debates, values facts highly, and is confident with judging right from wrong. Warmth may not be his strong suit, but he reminds us that knowledge is power. I feel like with the Queen of Swords, people think that's like the direct card, you know, being kind of blunt with people. And the King in some way is like that as well. It's knowing exactly what you want, not being afraid to kind of say it. I feel like maybe this situation calls for you to be kind of blunt about it, and you have so much clarity and you've come to such a good place. See here we've got like the rain and the clouds, and then it's sunny and the clouds have cleared. We have the Trust card. We have the Transition card. I feel like this card is coming up for you as a symbol of learning to trust. And group number 2, be patient with yourself. If you have been through something where your trust was kind of broken, know that it's okay for it to feel like it takes a while to come back. You are on a learning journey, and I feel like you are going to get to this place where you've gone inwards, you're building your new foundation, working on those healthy habits for your day, and really becoming the Fool, which is someone who's so open to experience joy in life, making those clear decisions, letting go. If you ever feel like, oh, how am I ever going to trust again? I can't believe X, Y, and Z happened. Know that it takes time. Don't be so hard on yourself. and it came out over the Hierophant. I feel like that's quite symbolic. When it comes to tarot reading, like even the placement of the cards feels quite symbolic, like where they come out over can be quite indicative as well. We've got transition. You are transitioning from this place of disappointment and heartache. You're transitioning, you're learning so much, and you are becoming that butterfly. I feel like for you, group number 2, butterflies may be quite symbolic. Your season of life is the butterfly. You are transforming. Your arm span is open, just like how the butterfly wings span open. Trust. Oracle meaning. Basil will indicate energies surrounding trust and the workings of relationships. Consideration and putting more into gaining harmonious ground are required. And although this does include romance, Basil is referencing any relationship or connection. Education and travel are all areas that are shining with positive vibes at the moment. But be wary of being in situations or relationships that you know are not good for you. This message was so aligned to your reading group number 2. It literally says that education and travel are areas that are shining with positive vibes for you at the moment. So I feel like you are definitely delving into some sort of learning opportunity and potentially travel, because we have the Fool, which is about traveling off. Oh, I love this for you, group number 2. And then when it comes to roots, like thinking about where you want to root yourself, this could be like a message that you are spreading your foundations, like you're taking your foundation elsewhere, letting go of old ones. Cauliflower heralds a change. This might have happened recently, be happening soon, or the energy around a change is unsettled. A rebirth can now take place, and if you're holding on to what has gone before it, it is time to let go for good. A reactivation can take place in any area of your life. If there has been a lull or setback, be wary of deceit or corruption. Once again, very aligned with your reading group number 2. You are going through this transition from something that was unsettling and heartbreaking, and you are becoming that butterfly. We have the Wheel of Fortune and the 8 of Wands. So we have the Wheel of Fortune and the 8 of Wands. The Wheel of Fortune indicates that your fortune is changing. So life is a wheel. We're constantly going round and going through different phases. But the Wheel of Fortune indicates that your fortune is changing. You are going from a down period in your life. Now you are on the up. The Wheel of Fortune is luck, opportunity and fate. This card is full of intriguing symbols, but its message is simple. Chance can transform our lives for the better. The world never stops changing, and we all experience those rare moments of being in the right place at the right time. You can't plan for these moments, but you can be attentive to them and be ready for them. Equally, sometimes fate goes against us, and what will be will be. The Wheel of Fortune invites us to respect the greater powers that shape our lives and be open to whatever may come. I love this message for you, group number 2, because obviously the wheel can go either way, but based on what cards we have, I'm feeling like this was a past situation and this is the future situation. So your wheel is rolling around and you are on the up. Something will happen like at the right place, the right time, and you're going to feel lucky, you're going to feel aligned. And we have the 8 of Wands, which is all about speed and determination, speed, motion, conclusion. The 8 of Wands is all about accelerating towards a conclusion. You're in the thick of something and life is busy and exciting. A blur that speeds by. Like the wands on the card, events have been catapulted into motion and will fly through the air until they hit the earth with a bump. In a reading, this card evokes the thrill of feeling inspired, being full of energy and focused on completing a task. It can signify that you are right in the flow of a project or phase and encourages you to embrace and use this intensity to your advantage. You are in the flow of something, which is always a very energizing and very exhilarating feeling when we are in the flow with something. The event of your season is there's going to be a moment where you feel like you are in the right place at the right time, and it's the moment of becoming the butterfly, becoming the full, trusting whatever this is, and building upon those roots. Now for the next part of the reading, I'm going to put these cards away and I am going to draw a couple more cards. This next part is going to be all about what other people see in you. It'll be kind of like, what does Lady Whistledown have to say about you? These ones flipped out face up, so we'll just keep them that way. We have attend to the details, the last quarter moon in Virgo, full moon in Leo, go wild, and we have last quarter moon in Sagittarius, practice gratitude. I feel like people look to you, group number 2, and think like, it is time for you to go wild. It is time for you to let down your hair. It is time for you to be living your best life and to follow what it is that really makes you light up. Tend to the details. I feel like people think detailed with what routines you want, with what habits you want to apply, but leave space for going wild, obviously. It's all about feeling the gratitude in all the little moments that make up our lives. Whenever you notice little things in your day that feel positive, make a point of them, practice gratitude, feel grateful for them, because those little moments make up our lives, and they are, in essence, what makes our life feel rich or what makes our life feel dull. So if you want a rich, happy life, practice gratitude. This is either a message that people think that you might need to apply this more in your life, or it might be a message that they see you and think that you are the type of person. There's so much charisma and like happiness. I'm just going to turn to a completely random page for you. I felt like that one wanted to come out. Being with the difficult. Mindfulness can help us deal with difficult emotions more easily than we might do otherwise. The purpose of the practice is not to fix or make things better, but to practice being with, or perhaps simply turning toward, difficult sensations, emotions, and thoughts. When we become aware of what is going on in the body and we have a willingness to experience unpleasant sensations, we may notice them changing and they may go away. They may not. However, the very act of being curious about your experience immediately shifts you into the stance of an observer, which means you are less caught up in the emotion. It is important to take small steps to prevent yourself feeling overwhelmed by feelings and sensations. Practice on the small, irritating things in life. Sometimes the wisest action is to do nothing and instead wait for a time and a place in which you feel safe to practice. Remember that the breath is always your anchor, your place of safety, and if you don't feel comfortable focusing on the breath, you can always take your focus to the feet or the floor instead. So for you, group number 2, because obviously you had the 3 of Swords come up, which is all about kind of getting through that heartache and being with the difficult things that come up in our lives. So what this page is telling you is to not ignore those emotions, to really feel them through and be gentle on yourself and bring yourself back to that breath. From that reading, group number 2, I feel like people know you have been through a difficult time and they want you to work through your emotions and they want you to be in a really good place. Advice coming through from other people around you is to attend to those details. Go wild and just feel the little things in life that bring you joy. How interesting that one of your main cards was gratitude, and then we have practice gratitude. So I feel like for you, group number 2, your season of life is practicing that gratitude and transforming it into a butterfly as your wheel rolls around and your luck changes. I hope you enjoyed that reading. Group number 2 is a little bit different. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe, it helps me out so much. I wanted the floral Bridgerton vibes since Bridgerton season 3 is coming out in May. And tell me in the comments how this resonated. I love to hear people's stories. Hope I'll see you again. Bye. Hello, group number 3. If you chose the Amethyst, then this is going to be your reading all about what your event of the season is and what is blossoming in your life. We have humility, detach from ego. We have grow, take inspired action. We have weeds, Take the time to weed your garden. Detach from ego, humility. Look how gorgeous these cards are. Before we start, I just want to say this is the first reading I'm doing using this deck. The Dreamy Moons Oracle deck, Bloom by Annie Tarasova. Gorgeous. Look at the shine on these cards. To tell on the camera, but they are beautiful. Really nice to the touch as well. So have beautiful meanings associated with them. I feel like this is a card kind of reminding you that you are not your ego. Your ego is the voice in your head that kind of says like, you're not good enough at this, or do this, do that. We can associate ourselves with that and think that that is us. You are not that person. They are just the thoughts that you create, and you are in charge of what you tolerate from yourself and what you don't. I will read a little snippet from the book because, like I said, the meanings are so beautiful behind each card. Detach from ego. Recognize that every being contributes to the tapestry of life. You are no more or less important than any other being on earth. It's a very humbling kind of, that's the feeling I get when I look at the moon or the ocean, and I think like, wow, I'm a part of this massive world. I'm so small. I'm the small part of the universe. So too is like Ed Sheeran, Beyonce, all these celebrities. They are part of this world too. Like we are all here, and it is very humbling to think like we all have access to the same things. You are no more or less important than any other being on earth. We're all connected. This card reminds you to respect yourself and others equally. This cliche saying fits this card perfectly. Treat others how you would wish to be treated. This card is also a sign that it's time to ask for help. Step off your high horse and reach out. It is totally acceptable for you to ask other people for help, and to also recognize when you need help. Ask yourself, where in life have I been leading with my ego rather than my heart? Take inspired action. Grow. Grow. Take action. The seeds are planted and the earth has been fertilized. It is time to grow. This is the part where you have to put the work in, where you have to pick yourself off the ground and run towards the sun. Act on your intentions. This might signify a work-focused stage of your life, or a period where you are mastering your craft. That's where you're blossoming. Group number 3, your event of the season is work and mastering your craft. Ask yourself, where in my life do I need to take action? If you are questioning whether to begin a certain project or not, this card is a yes sign. There you go, loud and clear. Group number 3 is a yes. Whatever project or task you're thinking about embarking on, yes. Take the time to weed your garden. Weeds. I love this card. I'm biased because I love decluttering. Take the time to weed your garden. Does your mind feel like an overgrown garden? Looks like you have some weeding to do. What do you need to let go of? Where can you detox and simplify? Weeds can be habits that don't serve you, toxic people, self-sabotaging thought patterns, even physical clutter around your house. Weeding allows space for the fresh and the new and the beautiful. This card calls you to focus on decluttering your life before pouring your energy into something new. Address the old and the ugly so you can approach life from a place of clarity. For you, group number 3, I'm feeling like there's a message coming through here. You need to declutter whatever thought patterns are not serving you. Because if you look here, there's like a pattern and it's saying detach from it. Once you've weeded those, even like physically decluttered your house, decluttered everything mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, you'll have the time and the space and the awareness of what it is you want to grow, to take inspired action. And I feel like you have a little niggle about this because in the book it said this is a yes sign. So whatever it is you're thinking about pursuing, yes. Number 3, we have King of Cups, Queen of Cups, wow, the World, and the Nine of Swords. So you are in a very strong position with your emotions, which is fabulous. Like you feel so aligned and emotionally in tune. You feel like you are in a good place too. When you think of the King and Queen, they are the leaders. They are the monarch, like they lead. And I feel like maybe this is a sign that you are detaching from your ego and stepping more into your heart chakra to lead from a place of emotion. The World is all about new beginnings, the end of a cycle. It's about fulfillment, contentment. It's feeling on top of the world and feeling like everything is bliss. And the Nine of Swords, I believe the Nine of Swords is all about rest. The Nine of Swords shows a person troubled by his nightmares. This card refers to fears and anxieties that keep us up at night. It is a reminder that experiencing a dark night is universal. You are not alone. Such moments come to us all, and sometimes we just need to cry. When morning comes, we will feel better, and things will look brighter. In a reading, this card invites you to be gentle with yourself and to be gentle with others when they go through tough times. Thank you, Young Oracle Tarot. There was a message there, group number 3, a reminder to be gentle on yourself and to be gentle with others when going through tough times. The Detach from Ego card came up with the message of, treat yourself, treat others the way you would want to be treated. This kind of tells me that you are allowed to cry. This card wants you to cry, like let out the emotion. Know that everyone goes through tough times, and sometimes, we can get really cranky at people or road rage, or things can just feel like uneasy and annoying, and just know that everyone around you is a person. They are going through their own story. They are going through their own difficulties. They have their own ups and downs. They have their own celebrations, and everyone is human here. And it's really easy to forget that sometimes when we don't see them. Now that we are in a very technologically advanced world, we don't see people, we see cars, we don't see friends, we see screens. It is really easy to forget sometimes that everybody is human, and that, I feel like, was a message just coming through there. I can see group number 3, we have the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups. You might be on a journey of becoming more emotionally aware of yourself and of others, because the King and Queen of Cups are all about the emotions. The Queen of Cups, emotional intelligence, creativity, and compassion. This contemplative queen is at ease around swirling waters. She understands emotions on almost a psychic level and feels great pain and joy in others as well as in herself. She is creative, loving all artistic modes of self-expression. For her, nature is sacred, and she feels deeply for all living things. Another message coming through, all living things are equal. This is a vibe I'm getting for you. She listens to people and is skilled at meeting their anger and despair with love, which was what I was just saying, instead of feeling anger, I feel like you are switching to this really perceptive version of yourself where you understand. In a reading, she may refer to someone in your life, or she may inspire you to follow her path of empathy. And the King of Cups, diplomatic, warm, and cultured. The King of Cups is a kind soul who can settle even the most bitter of disputes with his even-handed insight. You can turn to the King of Cups for good advice. He is friends with people from all backgrounds and appreciates art history in all its forms. He is open-minded, aware of his emotions, and feels no shame in expressing them. In a reading, he may serve as a role model for you to emulate or remind you of a similar person in your life. You are becoming really perceptive. I almost feel like now with the Nine of Swords, when you take on other people's emotions, it can feel very overwhelming and very consuming. It's so exhausting. You are going to be in a place where you know how to deal with those emotions. You are becoming very emotionally intelligent. I feel like you're finally deciding to follow your heart and to let go of that logical, egotistic side of yourself. You are now embracing your natural gifts of intuitiveness, of feeling that empathy for yourself, for others, and you're really weeding it back, and it's going to be so fulfilling. Leadership. Okay, can I just say that's pretty cool that it came out between the King and the Queen. Leadership, and we have tranquility right next to the girl that can't figure out how to rest. You are becoming a leader. You are learning how to lead your life from a very fulfilled place, from a very emotionally intelligent place, from listening to your heart, from listening to your intuition. Because we had the message of this is a season for a project or a workspace. I feel like you are applying it to some task or something you are working on. This is a reminder to do things that bring tranquility, because it can be quite exhausting to do work like this. Even doing tarot like right now, I'm like, okay, I'm on my last pile. After doing this, I feel so great, but it is at the same time quite exhausting because it is a lot of pulling energy and ciphering messages and talking. I absolutely love it, but it is exhausting. I think incorporating a lot of little things in your life that bring you those tranquil moments is going to help a lot. Let's read the little booklet to see what messages we get for those cards with broccoli. Is leadership, oracle meaning. It is time to take the initiative and step up. Even if this means throwing your hat into many rings, do not turn down opportunities that have even an inkling of promise, as there is something circling at the moment that has a lot of potential. Good luck, growth, health, improvements, and physical gains are all on offer, as are moments of passion. Be careful to ensure you delegate as needed and that you speak up for yourself. It's that message again of delegating. So if you're exhausted and you're like, oh, I don't have time to feel this way because like there's so much opportunity, delegate some things in your life, like ask for help. And that was coming back to this too, of like not being afraid to ask others for help, which I feel like you're learning to do. Violet, tranquility, oracle meaning. Although you may have felt tested recently, a period of advancement and breaking free is now open. Adaptation may be necessary, however, a greater depth of meaning, loyalty and truth is inspired by the appearance of violets. Secrets are safe and those you hold closest are also afforded this protection. The truth will prevail and that which is no longer wanted will be weakened. Be wary of intolerance, insensitivity to the feelings of others, and blind faith. There's that message again of like being aware of insensitivity to the feelings of others. I feel like you're becoming quite aware of why people do things the way they do things and why people get angry, and you're kind of looking at it from a place of love, which is a great thing to be doing. It also says that there's like a period of advancement that's now open for breaking free. You're breaking out of old patterns and it's going to bring you a lot of peace. A greater depth of meaning, loyalty and truth is inspired by the appearance of tranquility. So you are delving into a much deeper level of meaning. Group number 3, we saw that with the World card too. Season of your life, you are blossoming and you are feeling so much meaning and contentment. That one just rolled on out, didn't it? We've got the Ace of Wands and we have Death. The Ace of Wands, Ace is all about newness, Wands is all about energy, drive, purpose, potential, all that kind of fire energy. Group number 3, very on par with your reading. You have a new opportunity in your purpose. That is what I get from the Ace of Wands. And Death card, it is symbolic meaning of a version of yourself dying, which is what we saw in these cards. You are letting go of an old self so that a new one can blossom. You are becoming a new version of yourself. So this is a good metamorphosis. When the Death card comes up, people think like, oh no, death. Yes, I mean, but only when this card shows up in a reading with the 3 of Swords and the 5 of Swords and no positive cards, that's when I would think like, oh boy. This has come up with very positive cards, so therefore it has positive meaning. Does that make any sense whatsoever? I feel like the cards have to be very specifically all saddening for that to kind of raise alarms there. Group number 3, your season and where you're blossoming is with your emotional intelligence. You are becoming very emotionally and empathetically aware of yourself and of others, and it is going to lead you to a position of leadership and a position of feeling so fulfilled and content. That is where you are blossoming. Do not leave yet. The reading has not finished. I'm going to clear away these cards. We are going to find out what the people around you in your life think about what's going on, how they feel around you, what they would have to say, what Lady Whistledown would have to say, because we're going for the Bridgerton vibes today. We have breathe through the tension, full moon in Scorpio. Honor your feelings, first quarter moon in Pisces. And first quarter moon in Gemini, speak your world into being. Honor your feelings. This is so aligned to the reading we've just done for you. Honor your feelings. Do not make them take the back seat. Really embody and embrace them. I feel like it's your natural calling to do this. Speak your world into being. With the whole decluttering from the weeds card and the grow card, this is very aligned. Get rid of that which does not serve you and become aware of what it is you want to bring into being. The people around you want you to honor your feelings. They want you to bring into this world what it is you want to do, what you aspire to be. The people around us often have a very clear vision of what it is we need to do because they are not us. Sometimes the ego can cloud our path and kind of get in the way. So that's why that humility card came up for you, of detaching from the ego. Listen to your feelings, listen to your emotions, follow your heart. Breathe through the things that feel difficult to adjust to. And I feel like the people around you know this of you. They know who you are being called to be because they can feel it around you, because you are a light. You are an empath. And it is time to embrace that, group number 3. I am now going to turn to a random page in this book to see what message wants to show up for you. Staying with the itch. The formal meditation practices such as the body scan, sitting or movement practice all provide plenty of opportunities for different states of mind such as impatience, frustration, boredom, irritation, peacefulness, calmness, and so on to arise. Learning to be with various states of mind can help us cope with them when they arise in everyday life. This is so in alignment, group number 3. I feel like you're learning to be with those feelings of impatience, frustration, boredom, irritation, to see them from a place of love, not just within yourself, but within other people. Try this. Whatever kind of practice we are doing, we are never deliberately making ourselves uncomfortable, and we certainly do not want to sit grimly through pain. However, we can practice not reacting to small discomforts such as an itch or pins and needles. We practice being with discomfort by turning toward it, becoming interested in how it really is, where it is, what qualities it has, whether it is constant or changing. When we are interested in something, we want to find out more about it. We are curious. This is a very different approach to pushing something away because we do not like it. So practice staying with the itch, the literal itch and the metaphorical itch. It could be an informal sitting practice or something arising in everyday life. Perhaps the urge to fidget in an important meeting, but experiment with what it is like to respond to it rather than to react to it. Author and meditation teacher Jack Cornfield suggests the 3 strikes rule. If you notice a desire to scratch an itch or to end a practice, he suggests simply noticing the urge and then letting it go. When it arises again, and it will, let it go again. Then when it arises a 3rd time, you can give yourself permission to move on or scratch, but do so mindfully, that is, with full awareness of what you are doing while you are doing it. Group number 3, I feel like the people around you are very aware of what it is you are embarking on, becoming comfortable with what is the uncomfortable. It's very niche, so if this does not apply to a project, it is just maybe the mind frame you're switching into. The people in your life can see that you are becoming so much more patient, so much more aware of feelings. Not only are the positive feelings, but the negative ones that arise in us. I'm feeling the meditation. I'm getting a lot of meditative poses, not just alone, but with others. And breathing is all connected to meditation. Yeah, you're really becoming emotionally intelligent. And this is going to be very powerful for you, group number 3. I hope that this reading kind of aligned. Let me know in the comments how you found it. Give it a like, subscribe, it helps me out so much. And I hope to see you again soon in my next reading. Bye.